So I am feeling very hopeful. I'm feeling very hopeful, slightly terrified by what we heard from Jordy, but very hopeful after listening to our keynote speaker and listening to some of the Oratory Award recipients a little bit earlier. The future is in great hands, if not from technology, from young people who are dedicated and passionate about business and entrepreneurship. So let's keep those positive vibes going. We'll keep the momentum going a bit more, and we'll hear more from these aspiring entrepreneurs right now. They are all senior executives of their student-run companies, which they developed while taking part in JABC's flagship entrepreneurship program, the JA Company program. So they were nominated by their mentors for demonstrating exceptional leadership, business acumen, and growth during their tenures, and were selected to receive $2,500 scholarships as well, and this unique speaking opportunity. So congratulations to all of you for making it up onto this stage. I will say, I feel privileged to be up here talking to you. Don't be worried, I'm terrified too. And I am every time I come up on stage. And it's pushing through that makes all of the difference and makes me feel alive. And I hope you feel that too. So welcome to Tricia, Justin, Chloe, Ken, and Eric. Great to have you guys with us. So, Trish, let's start with you. When you started your entrepreneurship journey with JA Company, was it what you expected it was going to be, or how was it different than maybe what you imagined it would be?
For sure. So when I joined JA in grade 9, I thought that running a successful business is just making as much profit as possible, which is true. That is still true. But I also found out, surprisingly, how important it is to listen to feedbacks and criticism from others, not just within your family and your loved ones, but also to seek from others. And that's just to help you constantly improve, not just improve your business, but also yourself and as an entrepreneur.
Valuing feedback, it's very important. And sometimes you can ignore feedback too, and that might lead to success as well. Justin, same question. What surprised you most when you joined the program and first started learning about running a business?
Yeah, what surprised me the most is really seeing how unique every individual is and how diverse their strengths are. Therefore, as a team leader myself, I began to rather take a role as a facilitator to encourage and support everyone to find their niche and really try to grow and improve as a team together. Eventually, we've successfully produced the leather card holder made of innovative grape skin plant fibers.
Oh, wow, that sounds very interesting and a good challenge. And you're right, so much about being a good leader is allowing people to do what they do best to achieve the goal. Chloe, Ken, and Eric, what would you say your biggest challenge was as leader of your student company? And Chloe, we'll start with you. What was the biggest challenge?
So one of the biggest challenges I faced as a vice president of productions of my JABC company program was none other than something that many of you have probably faced yourself or are familiar with, which is communication. I didn't realize this, but at first, when joining the program, you were brought together with 11 other high-achieving students, and that sometimes led to some communication errors. And so along the way, I learned the importance of communication in the process of building a team to work towards one united goal.
Chloe, by communication errors, do you mean fights? No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding, but it can be a challenge, can't it? Especially if you're not used to being a manager or a leader and being in that role. But I'm so glad that you met that challenge as well. All right, Ken, what do you think?
Well, very similar to my friend Chloe over here, I think the biggest challenge for me was to build a really strong and positive team culture. In order for the sales team to better get to know one another, we had many activities. That includes an internal Shark Tank, where we pitched random objects within the room, like this time clock right here, to one another, which allowed us to get to know one another better, and also to make fun of each other, which is broke the ice for us. And from there, we're able to create a supportive and also relaxing community in which we take advantage of in down the business road.
Yeah, team building is important, and laughing together and failing together and getting to know one another in that circumstance, I think it can be very helpful. Eric, what would you say was your biggest challenge?
As a leader of my student company, my biggest challenge was inspiring and motivating my team members to persevere. Despite encountering initial slow sales, we overcame this hurdle through unwavering determination and implementation of effective marketing strategies, such as using social media apps like TikTok, where we've reached over 5,000 views, ultimately leading us to achieve our targeted sales goal.
Excellent work. Yes, harnessing the power of social media. That is something a new generation is becoming so proficient at, and for an old guy like me, learning some of those skills has been really invigorating as well. Running a business, big or small, whether you have experience or not, there are things obviously that you learn along the way. Tricia, how will you apply the lessons that you learned in the JA program to running your company? What are the lessons and how will you apply them?
From my experience being in JA provided both bottom-up learning and top-down strategic approach for me, and I've learned hard skills and soft skills. I actually learned how to knit just to make a prototype for my company. Even my mom couldn't get me to do that, but the company did. And I also learned soft skills such as communication and leadership skills, which I will apply not just post-secondary, but beyond. It's like applicable skills for everyday life in general.
What a motivator profitability can be, hey? Just learning how to knit like that, when even your mom couldn't do it. Ken, maybe we'll get your or no, I guess we're going to Justin. Justin, what lessons will you apply to your new company?
Yeah, I will definitely apply all the business knowledge that I learned from the program to continue my passion and journey in entrepreneurship. In addition, I've learned so many valuable soft skills that are crucial for my post-secondary and future careers in team working. And at the same time, I would just love to share my experience in the Junior Achievement Company program to more people and really encourage and support more teenagers like me who are passionate about entrepreneurship and business in general.
That's great to be an advocate for the program that you've benefited from, right? That's like word of mouth advertising is some of the best. Chloe, what would you say is your top lesson, and how will you apply it going forward?
So similar to many of my fellow panelists here and interviewees, is that communication and the chemistry of a team, and how that is important in moving towards an effective process of productivity and creating something that we could all be proud of as a team to work towards. Because it wasn't only just making profits or making the sale, but rather building towards a purpose that we wanted to leave and an impact in our community.
That's great to hear. That really is the meaning behind it all, right? Having a purpose for it. Okay, last question goes to Ken and Eric. Hindsight, of course, is always 2020, right? We wish we knew now or knew then what we know now. So when you look back, when you started your entrepreneurship journey, what would you have done differently if you knew it at the start? Can you think back to then and sort of what you wished you knew at that time before the program began?
All right, if I can travel back in time, I would definitely warn myself, at least this year, to stop fixing my mind on plan A and always leave space and time for plan B as backup. During our initial stage of sales, we were really certain and confident to reach out to local community centers and stores, hoping that they will let us sell our lamps. And we reached out to Save on Food and London Drugs. However, after countless emails and sorry, the manager's not on the phone right now, or I'll get back to you later, eventually realized that they don't have enough time for a bunch of teenagers selling lamps, which is totally understandable. And if there's any executives, owners, or even shareholders today here, just wanted to say thank you so very much. You guys taught me a really great lesson, and that will benefit me in the long run. And fun fact, we eventually came up with backup plan B, and we did generate more sales than we projected, so.
That's great. That's good. Sometimes no is a very powerful motivator, isn't it? Or being ignored. That's another powerful motivator. All right, Eric.
Reflecting on my entrepreneurship journey, I would have sought out additional approaches to develop my product, which are beeswax food wraps, in order to identify the optimal solution and achieve even greater outcomes.
I think you guys are going to be just fine as business leaders, managers, future CEOs, and presidents. Thank you so much, Tricia, Justin, Chloe, Ken, and Eric. Good luck, you guys, going forward. Thank you so much. All right. Congratulations again to this year's entrepreneurs, and a big thank you to the sponsors of this award as well. Acutus Therapeutics, the Peter and Joanne Brown Foundation, Concert Properties, Gustafson Capital Corporation, and the Oppenheimer Group. Thank you so much.